Hello and welcome back to Clownfish TV. It is me, Geeky Sparkles, and I am here today by myself because Neon is out doing something else. So, we're going to talk about Disney's Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, and why Disney announced this at the shareholders meeting, which is exactly what we said was probably why they announced it. Same with Moana 2, same with some other things. It looks like they wanted some big announcements to try to keep their butts in their seats. So before we get into it any further, please like and subscribe. If you do, I will give you a woohoo, and we're going to talk about this. So, according to Puck News, Disney paid Taylor Swift $75 million to stream the Eras Tour because they wanted a big announcement for the earnings call. Now, why would they need a big announcement for the earnings call? Because Bob Iger and his board were going to be, up for some of their seats to be removed because of different investors like the Trian Group with Nelson Peltz, or the Blackwell's Capital Group and things like that. Blackwell's Capital wants 3 seats, Trian Group wants 2. And these people who've been on the board for years and who are Bob Iger's enablers want to keep their seats, right? They want to stay in charge even though, they should leave so some people can freshen up the board. And it's amazing to me how Disney's board can get stuff done when they're afraid that they're going to lose their seat. They can do this stuff at any time, but it's amazing how fast they can throw deals together that could boost stock when they want to. All right. So when Bob Iger made the announcements during the investor call, and I think some of these were announced before the investor call started, the things that were brought up initially were, the board, who wants to keep their seats, is going to give a 50% higher dividend in July. Now, they block dividends forever. They're bringing it back, but they want to keep themselves in their seats and not get ousted. So, we're going to give you 50% more next time if you keep us in. All right. Then they pull out the sports deal between Warner Brothers, Fox, and Disney. Since it's a 3-way deal, that one probably took a little longer, but they're probably working on it. But they pulled that one out. Okay. The things they focused on the most was the Epic Games deal for $1.5 billion, which I'm sure they already had ties to Epic Games because of they've had tie-ins before with Fortnite and stuff. And they hurried up and called a deal in for that to have some big announcement. But the Taylor Swift one was already done. It's just a matter of letting, the Taylor's cut, letting her throw a couple more songs in it from her tour, and then they give her $75 million. And they flat out said, this one was done. Try to razzle dazzle the investors to keep their seats. So Netflix and Universal are also bidding for this, and Bob Iger doing Bob Iger as he does. He made sure he was the top bidder because it worked so well with Fox. And then he hurried up and got this together because he wanted a big announcement for yesterday's earning call, and paid big prices to get them. So he outbid everyone to make sure he had this because probably as soon as they heard Peltz was coming back and then Blackwell started, they started case building, started hurrying up and trying to get as many things as they can. That's when we got the stupid Moana 2 announcement, right? It was going to be a TV show. It was a TV show that they were doing for Disney Plus, and they hurried up and decided, let's all, shove it together into one movie. We'll get it nice and polished by the end of the year to put it in theaters. Because we know they're going to ask about theaters. And they don't even have Dwayne Johnson signed yet. I mean, they're probably getting that taken care of, but they announced this without even having, a whole plan the whole way through. Because they were just trying to razzle dazzle to keep their asses in their seats. Again, they can move, as an investor, I'm looking at this and I'm like, well, Disney can get stuff done when they want to. The Disney board and Bob Iger can get things done when their feet are to the fire and it's either, shit or go off the pot. Then amazingly, they can do things that can boost Disney stock. Disney stock was like $78 a few months ago. Now it's $108, and that's still down from the $111, $112 it hit. It's still not as, well, I guess that's a new 52-week high because it was $118. But they could drive it up from $78. It was sitting around 90 some to 112. And they're like, 20 some percent stock increase. Great. Why weren't you doing that before? I mean, I understand there were strikes and stuff like that going on. I do get that. But it wasn't up like that for a while. And then you guys could have done other things. And all you do is last minute pull something out of your butt. And then you're like, razzle dazzle, and you get to stay there. And the status quo remains. But it's funny because now they're coming out and saying that. I'm looking at this article and they're actually saying that what they're hearing is that Bob Iger overspent on the Taylor Swift rights because he wanted a big announcement to be like, look what we're doing. Keep us in. Keep us in. They said that the concert film, which grossed 261 million worldwide, is what they, they're based this on, which again wasn't Disney's risk. That was like AMC, I think it was, and some other people that were the ones that put it into theater to save the theaters because Disney and co were stalling out the negotiations with the Actors Guild and the Writers Guild, which means we didn't have any movies till next year. So they kind of caused the problem. Somebody else solved the problem, and now they're trying to piggyback on the problem. Sounds about right. So it started streaming as a PVOD title on Universal, where it did well, but now it's going exclusively to Disney Plus next month on March 15th. But it was at Universal first. So Iger had to have gone and massively paid more. Said Iger did, in fact, announce the streaming news on the company's Wednesday earnings call. The streaming version will be known as Taylor Swift Airs Tour Taylor's version, with the entirety of the concert film plus the song Cardigan and 4 additional acoustic songs. But they're just, blah, blah, blah. What I'm taking away from it is he wanted a big announcement, was willing to pay big prices to get it. So they're just throwing this shit together. Like, I think they probably, like I said, last couple of months when they knew there was going to be problems and they might not beat the activist investor groups this time. They're trying to pull whatever they can pull out, all the stops, they're going to mention, the movie's doing bad. Well, we'll just give them Moana too. They're going to mention, Disney Plus streaming services and the numbers. Oh, we'll just give them, Taylor Swift. Because look, it was a big deal. Y'all heard of Taylor Swift, right? Y'all heard about her. Well, we're going to have that. We're going to bring her to the platform. And again, like I said, it's just razzle dazzle bullshit. And if you can do that when you have to, why weren't you doing it the entire time? Why were you letting stocks drop down so low? And even before that, they've been, even if you look back here over the course of the last year or so, I can go back further, 5 years, okay? Since Iger came back the end of 2022, okay, that September, he came back around November. So in here, it was under $100 then. It has been staying that way pretty much until you announced Taylor Swift and Epic Games and all that. So if you had the power to fix this there, why did it take you all this time to fix it? And again, and that's in comparison to here. 126, 197. And again, this was like Chapek in here when he was in charge. Iger's in charge, Chapek's in charge. Now, granted, the pandemic, I think, had something to do with it. But you come down here and it's been staying pretty, go down, 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 down. Oh, look, Taylor Swift. I don't know. If you had the power to do it, why didn't you do something sooner? So that's what I have to say about it. I just think it's funny because I joke that's probably what, I wasn't joking. I'm like, they're doing this. They're just pulling this stuff out of their ass to save their asses. And that's what they did. So, and it's being confirmed by The Wrap. So like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.